Okay, this morning let's do a little bit of cylinder head math. These are Rob King's GN1 as cast heads. Looking at the top, you can see that I've already mic'd all the valve spring installed heights. They're between 1.179 and 1.740. I've got my cam card here, and my lobe lift is 331. So 331 times a 1.5 rocker is 513, or 165 is a 546. Rob's running 155s, which he has already supplied. So my lobe lift times my rocker ratio is my lift at the valve. That's my installed height. That's my pressure. There's my spring tester set up. Doing the math, taking 513 from 719 is open at 120.06. That's my open pressure. And this is where my bind would be at 60 thousandths on a given spring. I know the spring I have here is a PAC 1201. It binds at 1115. So that gives me 31 thousandths of extra installed height to take away before I'm at that bind. If I take it away, it brings my installed height on the seat down to 1.688. It brings my pressure up from 148 to 160. It brings my open down to 117.5. Brings the pressure up from 424 to 443. And puts me right at my bind number for this spring. This is pretty ideal. 60 thousandths is pretty much the number. It's 60 to 80, not much more than 80, not much tighter than 60. Your valve spring is going to settle out a little bit, so these numbers will soften up. And so will these. And of course, make sure you have a lifter that can take these pressures. I do have a lifter that will take these pressures. I'm not running a comp lifter. I'm running a Johnson lifter, which I have got from Brian Bisonet. We all know Bison. And it is a reduced travel lifter, not a standard and not a limited. I might have that backwards. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I didn't. But that's what's involved in blueprinting cylinder heads. Here's the other head, which I haven't touched yet. The next question is, why do you want to blueprint your cylinder heads? Well, you want to blueprint your cylinder heads because you want to know what you have. If you just bolt them up when you get them from Champion or TA or off the forum or wherever used or whoever you buy them from, and you don't know what you have, and then you run into a problem where you're not building power past a given RPM, say like 5,000 RPM, usually the number one culprit is your springs, not having enough spring pressure. So you need to verify that. And this is what separates a builder from an installer. A lot of machine shops don't necessarily go to this detail because they're just worried about getting in the door, getting paid. On a little motor like this, every bit is important. And this is just how you verify what you have. And then you install them up, and I'll blueprint them. I'll make notes of them. I'll put them in my book so I have them for my records. I'll furnish them to the customer. If something happens down the road, and then we'll go for push rod length, and I'll talk about that later.